2020 NBA Finals. 124 to 114. It's Brian H. Waters here. Exclusive Hap News post-game update. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a long week, man. I even started falling asleep. So those who joining in, come with me. Let's talk about this game for a little bit. Let me know, what did you think? Lakers got it done. What up, Pablo? Appreciate you joining in. Live Pablo coming from LA. Pablo, be honest with you, I was kind of falling asleep during the game a little bit. It was a beautiful win. Got a little interesting down there, down the stretch, but the Lakers winning by 10 points. They definitely need some things to work on, but they are destroying the zones. I'd be interested to see if Miami comes back out with that zone defense because, quite frankly, the Lakers just went out there. I mean, LeBron and AD is just too much. So I want to see if he's our turn out after the half. The Lakers, yeah, the Lakers negative 11-1. What up, Twisty Soap? Thanks for joining in. I thought that just watching this game, Anthony Davis, I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be the MVP. It is so sweet to say, as a Lakers fan, though, we are 2 wins away. 2 wins away from the championship. That's the thing. So who knows? If you're out there, you got the Hap News app. Join in. You can come on the show. But definitely, like I said, these are very exclusive. These are post game updates. The sports talk. This is what you're gonna get from me on Hap News. Haps is the place to be. I'm trying to tell y'all, it can stream to all your platforms. But um, I saw J.R. Smith in the game, and I looked at. I was like, are they ever going to pass him the ball? I wanted to see him maybe, get a couple of shots in. And it just felt like maybe I'm just, overlooking at things. I thought you were Earl Sweatshirt. I saw that. I was like, man, look, he's not even. They didn't even give J.R. Smith a shot. Do you think Butler can reunite the Heat? Honestly, no. I just think, just like the Nuggets, I think the Heat have ran out of gas. Down 2-0. This is the first time LeBron James has been up 2-0 in the finals. But I think the Heat has run out of gas. I think that their, oh man, what you call it? I'm going to just say their willpower is done with. When you think about what they had coming in and losing two of their key players, it's a lot to overcome. They was already going against the Los Angeles Lakers, and now it's like, man, we gotta go against these guys, and we already missing Bam, we already missing Dragic. It's a lot, so I just think it's done. I think, honestly, and this is no disrespect, but I honestly think you can bring out the brooms. It's not like it's a home court advantage. It's not like they're gonna have a crowd. They're gonna change the stuff on the court, and you're gonna see the Miami Heat logos as opposed to the Los Angeles Lakers logos. But by this being in that bubble, it gives players opportunities to really find their sweet spots. So I think it's done. Um, Mike Pat and Mike joining in. What up, Mike? My brother, Lakers shot 16 of 47 from three and still won easily. Yeah, I just think they shot a lot of threes too because the zone. And I was sitting there watching, like, why are they staying in that zone defense? So, but they could have. They had their way with them. Let's be honest. They had their way. They really didn't. AD. I think AD had. I gotta look at the stats, but LeBron and AD combined for 65 points. So they really had their way. The zone defense invites threes. Absolutely. And that's what I was thinking. And the Lakers can shoot the threes. They are not a team that cannot shoot threes. You do have some teams that can't shoot threes. People, they talk about the Lakers, they should attack the elbow more. They talk about Lakers aren't the better three-point shooting 3-point teams. And absolutely, the 2017 Warriors would have scored 200 points against that defense. But LeBron can shoot threes when he wants to. AD can shoot threes. Caruso can shoot threes. Um, What's my guy's name? I can't think. I'm looking right now. Morris can shoot threes. Rondo has been hitting more threes now than he had been before. And then you also have those Danny Green obviously is a threat. Caldwell Pope's a threat. So I think a lot of people underestimate the Lakers 3-point shooting. They really did. They really underestimated their 3-point shooting. So Miami's going to have to make that adjustment. I expect Eric Spoelstra to make that adjustment. I believe he's a great coach. Barbecue chicken with Robinson and Hero down low. Yeah. So I expect that. But what can I want people out there to explain? If you was Eric Spoelstra, what would you do? Would you challenge Jimmy Butler more? Who would you challenge more to step up? Is there anybody on the Miami Heat bench that can step up and make this a series, make this entertaining? Because I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Like I said, I think this is over. When I really look at this series, it's over to me. You know, so Giannis, yeah, it would be interesting to see Giannis in the on Miami, but I spoke to my boy Daniel Artest earlier. He said, and Daniel Artest, for those who do not know, is the brother of the legend Ron Artest, who formerly known as Ron Artest, Metal World Peace, and he said he don't think that would work, quite frankly. Spo got to mix his defenses up more. That's what he should be. That's what he should do defensively. Call Nick Nurse. Yeah, the defense was just like they were going to stick to that zone, and that was it. And that's what I think hurt him. Anyone and everyone needs to step up and attack the ball. Pablo, you're absolutely right. They gotta attack. They got to attack. But I mean, what bothered me was when people was trying to say this was given, and this is a shout out that we call him Uncle Rob Parker. He said this was given Detroit Pistons vibes. And Rob has been saying no way, no how LeBron's going to championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now he's 2 games away. But no, this wasn't Detroit Pistons vibes. Not in my opinion. This went from, honestly, for me, it was giving me Philadelphia 76ers Lakers 2001 vibes. Now it's giving me Lakers Nets vibes, quite frankly. Lakers swept the Nets. Kobe and Shaq had their way with them. The 2001 reason why I said that, because Jimmy Butler reminded me of Allen Iverson. Now, obviously not the biggest superstar like Allen Iverson, but as far as taking his team and willing them to the finals. Yeah, man, he said Pistons vibes. But there's no controversy. There's no dissemination between these Lakers. We saw Anthony Davis and we saw LeBron James quite frankly said, no, we are not jealous of each other. We're not. We like to motivate each other. They are buddies. They are brothers. And that's why we have the finals looking like the way it does. What other sports do you watch? Basketball, football, baseball. Huge baseball fan. Real quick, right now my World Series pick is going to be the Dodgers and the Yankees. It was Dodgers and the White Sox, but clearly the White Sox got eliminated. So it's the Dodgers and the Yankees. I'm disappointed that we're going to see the Padres and the Dodgers in this round. I think that would have been a more fun to watch in a league championship series, but it's the way the bracket's set up. So therefore, I think we'll get the Dodgers and the Braves. Offensively start Olenek potentially. That's a good idea. They got to throw some different looks, but LeBron James is locked in. and that's probably, after every game, that's probably going to be the discussion, that LeBron James is locked in. I do think Anthony Davis is looking like he's going to be Finals MVP. I do. It would be nice to see LeBron James get the 3rd Finals MVP, but I think Anthony Davis is going to get the Finals MVP. But I'm going to tell y'all this. I got to see. Excuse me. I'm going to tell y'all this. I don't think this is it. I think they get another one next year. I think it's in the cards. Lakers and Nets. That's going to be so much fun. Y'all heard Kyrie Irving's comments. I haven't fully listened to the podcast. I'm going to listen to the podcast. Do I think this is personal for Lamar? Absolutely. I think it's personal in a lot of ways. I think LeBron wants to win every finals he goes to, but I do understand that some of those last ones in Cleveland, he did realize, like, okay, this is, when they had Kevin Durant, it was a little bit out of reach, right? But I think this is personal. One, the Kobe factor. That was his big brother. Two, coming to Los Angeles, hearing the chatter of he only came for Hollywood and everything. So I think he wants to prove everybody wrong. Going to the bubble to do this and everything that they stood for and fought for, he wants to do that. So and then quite frankly, just going up against Pat Riley, he ain't forget what Pat Riley said. Pat Riley essentially called him a snake in the grass. So I think all of those make this personal. Shout out to KJ Jordan underscore the actor. I don't know. LeBron and AD was neck and neck on stats tonight. So KJ, who wins the MVP of the series? Is it LeBron? Is it Anthony Davis? Has there ever been a co-finals MVP? I know. I think it was '97. The NBA Finals '97 when it was Jordan, but Jordan even said that Scottie Pippen. He gave like Scottie Pippen the car. I think it was '97. Might have been '98, but I'm almost certain it was '97. Mike Patton says Myers Leonard can continue with the mothballs he was collected on the bench. And y'all make sure y'all check out Mike Patton's work on his blog, The Sports Awakening. AD is my MVP so far. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to, right? Because I mean, when he comes in there, it just looks like he's just totally unstoppable, totally unstoppable. Y'all make sure y'all download the Haps app. Y'all can, you download the Haps app and jump in on these conversations. I do have the ability to invite guests. So even if you don't do it tonight, Mike and I've done a show together. Make sure you check it out on my podcast, Breaking Through the Glass Ceilings, Uncomfortable Conversations, Being a Black Man in America. I think it was going to be AD, but I think LeBron is going to play every game to the end of the fourth. So you think LeBron's going to maybe take this? This is going to be interesting. It's so like we are 2 games away, and another reason why I think it's going to be a sweep, honestly, is because I really believe that they want to go home. I think the Lakers want to go home. You remember when LeBron said before the bubble, he was like, man, it felt like he was getting ready to do a bid. For those who don't know what a bid is, it's like going to jail. So he felt like he was getting ready to do a bid. So I think with all of that, it's been a long time. He said, if Braun wins this MVP, then I'm skeptical. Let's wait to see how the next 2 games play out. Let's wait to see, Mike. Let's see how the next 2 games play out. But if LeBron does win, I think that they're not going to play around. They're not going to let him stick around. I did think Miami could get 1 or 2 at full strength. I picked the Lakers at 5 though, and that was mainly because I didn't want to be disrespectful to the Heat at all. But the way these Lakers are playing now, it's like they're ready to get this over with. They want to win this championship. You look at like Dwight Howard just out there. Dwight Howard is looking like the man and everything. Vogel can be given some respect now with how absolutely. You go back to when Vogel was named the head coach. A lot of people was like, that's what they chose. Especially he wasn't successful in Orlando. And then, he was successful in Indiana, but let's be real, he was never Larry Bird's guy. So now, Lakers bring him in. It's like, so y'all bring him in. Okay, whatever. But he's done a great job. And then and I'm going back to this. I'm going back to January 26th. There was so much that mentality, psychologically they had to deal with the death of Kobe Bryant, the death of a legend, an icon. Yes, everybody else had to deal with, but they had to essentially heal Lakers Nation. This would have been more painful if they had to go through that during during a bad season. But it was like a season with high expectations. Oh, and then the biggest star dies, I'm not sure if the Lakers felt that. And that's one thing I would like to ask Shaq if I ever had a chance, is how did it feel in 2000 going into the season, right before the season started, where Will Chamberlain died? It's different. The first 3 series, LeBron basically let AD have it. These first 2 games were basically LeBron look at solid on stats. University of Kentucky dominating the NBA Finals. How about that? Rondo and AD. So I'm not the biggest like college sports fan, college basketball aficionado, but I will say, one of my favorite, I give you three of my favorite teams. University of Maryland 2002. I'm from Baltimore, so that was a fun time. Um, the 2005 North Carolina Tar Heels. Shout out to Sean May, Raymond Felton, my boy Rashard McCain's. Um, what's his name? Marvin Williams, Jawad Williams. And so that was a fun team to watch. And then the 2003 Syracuse Orange, mellow. So yeah, but let me know what y'all think as far as what did y'all think about Kyrie? I know he went live tonight, and I think that's also something that could be personal for LeBron. Pablo, you asked earlier, just hearing Kyrie tries to do these things. Oh man, I wasn't talking about that. Y'all making a narrative. We all know you was talking about LeBron James. You know, and I think, like I said, I got to listen to the full podcast. I think what the way I interpret it, was nobody he felt was more clutch than him. And he thinks maybe that Kevin Durant is equal or maybe more. So that UK team with Delk, Antoine Walker, McCarty, and the talent they had on that team, that the talent they had, man, wow. Yeah. Yeah, so the Kyrie slight shade. Yeah, it was definitely slight shade. So, but y'all know what? I'm not gonna be on here long, and I'm actually gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you don't have the app yet, make sure you download Haps. I'm telling you, it's cool. This is where you're gonna catch my exclusive sports talk brought to you right here on Haps. And you can, if you want to go ahead and sponsor your boy, as they say, you could go ahead and do that right here on the app and so drop your support, um, whatever you feel like you want to donate. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in, taking time out of your schedules and days. Hopefully you enjoyed the NBA Finals like I did. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of falling asleep a little bit, but that's just what happens when it's been a long day and a long week. Ron Mercer, Derek Anderson too. Derek Anderson, real quick story about him. I remember when in 2001, as when the Lakers were on their run, all the Spurs fans felt that Derek Anderson was going to be the reason that the Lakers they was going to get stopped. And then I believe he got hurt in game one of that Western Conference Finals. And we all know the Lakers swept that, which they would end up 14-1. But who knows? Looks like this one, they could end up 16-3. But we shall see. I'm signing off. Make sure you connect with me on all social media platforms at Brian